Hey, this is Derek Whatley with the Ansible Service Broker team at Red Hat. In this video, I'll be demonstrating multi-bind capabilities of the Ansible Service Broker to connect a stock clustering machine learning APB with three Amazon services, S3, SNS, and SQS. We've already deployed all of our APBs to a project in this example, and I'm about to go check out the web UI of our stock analysis app. Here we can see that the SNS, S3, and SQS bind credentials are not available, and so queuing has been disabled. I ticked the option to automatically create bind credentials during the provisioning process for each of these APBs. So I already have my S3, SNS, and SQS bind credentials created, and here I'm just going through the process of adding them to my stock clustering sample app. So S3 is going to be responsible for storage of the output of the stock clustering algorithm. SNS is responsible for sending emails with the results and the link to the file. And SQS is used as a work queue, a FIFO queue, in order to provide a way to keep order, and because the jobs are somewhat long running, they can take on the range of 10 seconds to sort of unlimited time depending on how big the set of stocks you're analyzing is. In this case, the SQS FIFO queue made it easy to separate the front end, which is responsible for collecting user input, and the worker node, which is responsible for crunching all the numbers. So now that we've installed all of our bind credentials, we can see that the web UI has sort of unlocked itself, and we can see different lists of stocks which we can analyze, and we can also input dates over which we wish to analyze them. In this case, I'm going to set up a few jobs and add them to the queue. I'm going to use this sample set and the suggested dates to start with. And before we hit add to queue, I'm going to pull up the logs for the task running node, just so that we can see it polling the SQS queue and then receiving the job and starting to work on it. And now I'm going to go ahead and click the Add Job to Queue button, and we should see it show up. So now it's pulling all of the historical stock data for the different ticker symbols we supplied, and it's going to try to relate them based on their historical performance data and see how they move up and down with each other over time to see which companies behind the stocks are connected in some way. Now I'm setting up a job based on a smaller set of stocks, and I'm going to set up several different analysis dates over which this will run. All of these will end up getting emailed back to my email address that I supplied when I created the SNS subscription. If you've been watching the left side of the screen at all, you might have noticed that there's some more stuff going on, and it looks like it just completed the first job that I added to the queue, and it's already picked up another job off the queue, the one that I added a few seconds ago. So that second job only took 6 seconds because it was working with a much smaller set of stocks. And you can see we've received our first SNS notification of the analysis completion in our email, which also includes a download link generated via S3, Amazon's file service. And that download link expires in 10 hours from when the email is sent. I'm going to go ahead and open up the result from the analysis, and we'll see some interesting stuff there. So the first thing you'll notice is that there's a big cluster of banks in the bottom left corner. There's also some manufacturing companies related to cars and different things, and there's a big cluster of energy companies. If you look at some of the other results that came in, we can see that it's put together Southwest and Boeing, NVIDIA and AMD, Alphabet, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. And interestingly enough, Red Hat is grouped with MasterCard, PayPal, and JetBlue. The binding functionality of the Ansible Service Broker makes it easy to connect a bunch of services together even when they're not in your cluster, such as with our AWS examples in this video. If you're interested in learning more about the Ansible Service Broker, check out the links below.